It is 15 minutes past the adjournment of session, and so I'd like to call the Transportation and Public Safety Subcommittee to order, and if the clerk could please open the roll so that we can take attendance. Okay, if the clerk will close the attendance, we have a quorum present, and we will start with House Bill 19. We'll just take these in order, and I'll ask our analysts to read these, and I've talked with some of the delegates, and I know that they won't be planning on attending, but David, if you'll go ahead and get started.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 19 from Delegate McClure. It's really doing two things. First, it's establishing a definition of intimate partner within the code, and it is then adding intimate partner to the section of the code which prohibits the possession or purchase of firearms following a conviction for assault and battery. There's a total one-time fiscal impact of $101,000 in order to implement the bill.
Okay, thank you. The committee moves on motion. There's a motion to report, and there's a second. The clerk will please open the roll, and everyone can cast your ballot, cast your vote. Okay, the House Bill 19 passes on a vote of 5-2. The clerk can close the roll. All right, next up we have House Bill 35 from Delegate Josh Cole, and I believe that there is either a line amendment. There's a line amendment. The amendment's been moved and second. All those in favor of the line amendment say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Okay, the line amendment is before us. David?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 35 from Delegate Cole prohibits the use of isolated confinement outside of specified exceptions within the bill, and it provides new requirements and limitations on its use. DOC has estimated that it would require $3.7 million each year and 36 positions in order to comply with the provisions of the bill, and this is related to requirements requiring a timely mental health and medical examination of any individual placed in isolated confinement.
Okay, thank you very much. The committee operates on motion. There's a motion to report as amended and second. If the clerk will please open the roll, and we will cast your vote. Okay, the House Bill 35 as amended passes 5-2. The clerk can close the roll, and there is a substitute, I believe, for this one. Yes, there's a substitute.
House Bill 88, there is a substitute.
Yes, so if we could move. Substitute's been moved. There's a second. All those in favor of the substitute, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Okay, the substitute is now before us.
The substitute would require VDOT to work with the Department of Conservation and Recreation and the Invasive Species Advisory Group to determine how the prevalence of invasive plants on our roadways and bypasses, and develop options for establishing and implementing a plan to remove them, and as well as what the estimated cost of that would be. The study or the analysis would have to be completed in the substitute by December 1st, 2027, and it would go to the Money Committee's chairs and the Transportation chairs.
All right, thank you, Michael. And I will highlight that this is not necessarily a study or a work group. The committee operates on motion. Substitute before us. I move the substitute. Substitute's been moved and second. If the clerk would please open the roll. Okay, House Bill 88 as substituted passes on a vote of 7-0. The clerk can close the roll. Next up, we have House Bill 108, and I do see Delegate Ballard here. So, Delegate Ballard, if you'd like to go ahead and present the legislation to us.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. So I do have House Bill 108. I'll give you a brief overview, and then I really want to defer to these fine-looking gentlemen here to my right to explain a little more detail why we're requesting this. But this legislation was brought to me by a constituent who serves in one of these honor guards. And he shared with me his experience and difficulty with the honor guards throughout the state that they've had in recruiting members to participate, retaining members to ensure that our brave veterans have the proper military funerals that they deserve. And so this bill does exactly what the summary says. It requires the Department of Veterans Services to establish the Honor Guard Grant Program for providing grants to veteran service organizations so that they can better serve those that have served our country at the funerals. And so, if I may, Mr. Chairman, let me defer to some of these gentlemen here that came to speak on this bill.
Yes, we can now move to those who wish to speak in favor of the legislation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And when you come up, if you could please state your name and the organization that you're with, and we'll ask you to try to keep it to a minute.
Yeah. I'm Bruce Russell. I'm the commanding officer of the Marine Corps League Honor Guard. We operate here in Central Virginia. We do all the military funerals out at Amelia, Virginia Veterans Cemetery. We support this bill. We've been doing this for, many of us, for 8 or so years, and we have the only monies that we get from our help is we are given our rifles and our ammunition by the U.S. Army. The rest of it is all out of pocket, and the passage of this bill would help us to defer our transportation costs, gasoline, uniform costs, and so on. And as Delegate Ballard said, it would also, we could use it as an inducement for people to join our unit.
All right, thank you very much. And is there anyone else who wishes to speak in favor? Anyone who wishes to speak in opposition? Oh, you have another person who wishes, because I know we have people.
Very brief, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, I know that we have people here on the committee who would like to speak, but
I can't
go ahead.
forego this opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Joe Wadle. I'm going to surprise my friends and keep it well under a minute. I spent 36 years in the United States Marine Corps as an enlisted man, as an officer. I graduated as a colonel. I spent 36 years with Exxon Mobil, and I graduated from them in 36 years as an Exxon executive. And I'm here to tell you that this is one of the most meaningful things and means most to me and is important, very important, that I've ever done in my entire life. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And let's see here, we'll go to Delegate Krizak.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to say you're absolutely right. It is very meaningful. It's certainly meaningful to the families. My father was buried at Arlington not too long ago with an honor guard, and it meant a lot to my family, my extended family, where they had the case on and the bagpipes and 21-gun salute. So it was quite an honor, and I know the person who would really have loved it the most was him. But it is so important, and I'm glad you're here to support this. And thank you, Delegate Ballard.
All right, thank you, Delegate Krizak. Delegate McQuinn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to say to this group, first of all, thank you for the service that you provide. It is a service that is it's so honorable and dignified and classy when you're at those cemeteries and see this take place. And so it is. I mean, I'm honored to support this effort, but I wanted to say thank you for what you do. My niece actually provide this kind of service as well. And so I just wanted to say thank you for your service.
Thank you, Delegate McQuinn. We're going to go next to Delegate Wyatt, and then Delegate Thomas is next in the queue. So go ahead, Delegate Wyatt.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I too want to echo thank you for your service. Thank you for what is done at Arlington, Quantico, as well as Amelia right here in Central Virginia. And I want to also thank the delegate, Colonel Ballard, for bringing this bill before the committee to support these fine veterans. So thank you. Thank you.
All right, Delegate Thomas, and then I believe next we have Delegate Askew. So Delegate Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Even though the patron is not a Marine, nobody's perfect, but I do want to commend him for bringing this together. So I sit on the Board of Veteran Services. I have toured many, we have 3, I've toured several of our cemeteries here. Virginia is in a class of her own when it comes to how we serve our veterans, but I'm aware of the shortage we've had in the honor guards. I've seen myself with my own eyes the impact that it has had on services, and it's something that we certainly don't want to see occur in the Commonwealth. We want to continue to maintain that standard. So in light of that, Mr. Chairman, I have a motion at the appropriate time.
Okay. Go ahead, Delegate
And
Thomas.
I move that we report House Bill 108.
All right, it's been properly moved. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second. Okay, if the clerk would please open the roll. Okay, Delegate Ballard and Honor Guard members, the legislation passes 7-0. So thank you very much for your time and thank you for your service.
Thank you very much, members of the committee.
And as if you can't tell, we're not going to hold the whole Marines thing against you. Coming from a Navy officer. Okay, let's go on now with House Bill 147, which is Delegate Williams. And so Delegate Reynolds, if you would, I'm not Delegate Reynolds, David Reynolds.
Actually,
Oh, Michael, sorry.
House Bill 147 would increase the debt authority for the Route 58 Corridor Development Program by $332 million from $1.3 billion to $1.632 billion. That's essentially what the bill does.
All right. I know that this would have an impact on our ongoing debt obligations, so the committee operates by motion.
Go ahead. Mr. Chairman, I move to lay this on the table.
There's a motion and a second to lay this on the table. If the clerk would please open the roll, and if everyone could please cast your vote. Okay, the legislation is laid on the table by a vote of 5-2. The clerk can close the roll. Delegate Askew and Thomas, since you're both here, I'm going to skip you and me, and we're going to go to Delegate Tata, who has two bills. So House Bill 366 and House Bill 927. Delegate Tata.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. It doesn't matter which one I do first.
It doesn't really matter, no.
I'll go in numerical order. So
Okay, great.
HB 366 seeks to build on the success of the Virginia Military Community Infrastructure Grant Program and Fund, and this will provide that grants from the fund shall be rewarded primarily to projects that receive matching federal funds. This one, I think $2 million was in the budget. I don't know what happened to it now, but this is just a great program. It's been able to provide some great projects that we've already done throughout the state. So,
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions from members of the committee? Is there anyone here who wishes to speak in favor?
Tom Krabs was coming, but he's too far away.
Well, yeah. Anyone who wishes to speak in opposition?
Mr. Chairman, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, Delegate Krizak.
So right now, in an introduced budget, there's already $2 million, correct?
Yes.
And what does your additional request of $8 million do?
Well, it was an additional, Mr. Chairman, it was an additional $3 million because originally it was for $5 million and then they put $2 million. So we asked for an additional $3 million, but we would be thrilled with the $2 million.
Okay. Other questions from members of the committee? Okay. The committee operates on motion.
I'm gonna.
Madam Chair, Mr. Chairman, move to report.
Okay.
I've got a substitute motion.
There's a motion to report. There's a substitute motion. Delegate Krizak.
My substitute motion is to table because I think there's already money in the budget that was introduced. So we'll see how it all plays out. But my motion is to table, gently table it.
There's a motion to table. There's a second. So that's properly before us to table House Bill 366. If the clerk would please open the roll. If everyone could please cast your vote. Okay, Delegate Tata, thank you very much. House Bill, yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, we'll do that one next. House Bill
927.
366 is tabled by a vote of 5-2. The clerk can close the roll, and now we'll go to House Bill 927.
So thank you, Mr. Chairman. 927 is a bill that modernizes how we identify and report human trafficking. And it basically creates a secure digital multi-channel reporting platform that works alongside current systems such as 911 and existing hotlines. So this is just a modern way to be able to report human trafficking because the hotlines have had nothing but problems. So this is a great way to be able to report.
All right, thank you, Delegate Tata. Are there any questions from the committee members?
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I do have a question, and I don't know if Delegate Tata is aware or not, but are there some other human trafficking bills that are out there now? I mean, did anyone else patron?
This bill?
Yeah, no, not this one, but just human trafficking bills to address that, the challenges of it.
To address the challenges of reporting? Mr. Chair, I'm actually not sure. I know there are a few other bills. There's one to try to prevent, kids that have been trafficked to be criminals, but and vacatur type bills. But I don't know that there's anything about reporting.
Okay.
But there may be. I just don't know.
Well, I'm not sure. I was asking because of to see if you were aware of any.
That would be great if there is, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, it will be good to know. Okay,
All right,
thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Just a second. Delegate Thomas was already in the queue. We can come to you next, Delegate Krizak. And then we do also have testimony online that we need to get to. So once we get done with the questions, we'll go to the audience and online.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The topic, absolutely all in favor of working on this, but I just have concerns about the method that's being used here. So, do we know what other states have hired vendors to perform this? Have they done it with similar amounts, more or less, and do we know the efficacy of that work?
Mr. Chairman, I think this technology is relatively new, and I know there's one other state that either has just implemented or is in the process of implementing, but it is new technology. And the whole part of this is just, you can call 911, but the problem is they don't really respond to passive tips. So this is a way you can be proactive. You can actually be sitting in a waiting room, observe something, and then just activate this. I actually have the app, and it works amazing. It's an amazing app. So it's new technology.
All right, thank you, Delegate Tata. Any other questions from members of the committee before we go to audience testimony? Okay, so we'll now entertain. Now, I know that this has been heard elsewhere, so we'll entertain if there's anyone who wishes to speak in favor or opposition who's here in the audience. Okay, seeing no one, I believe that we have one person who wishes to speak in favor of the legislation who is online. She's not online? Okay, all right, thank you. So that completes the testimony. So I appreciate, again, you bringing this. We've done a whole lot on human trafficking just in the last 3 years, and it's really good that we're trying to make efforts on that, and the committee moves by motion.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I have a motion to gently lay this on the table, but I want to say this Human Trafficking Response Coordinator was my legislation about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe, and it's what I would like to do. I think you need to bring this back next year. We need to talk more, especially since it is new technology, and it does seem like there's some efficacy here, but we really don't know about it, and that somebody should be testifying on behalf of the coordinator. It would be good to have that support here today. So let's gently lay this on the table.
There's a motion to lay it on the table. Is there a second? There's a second. If the clerk would please open the roll. If everyone please cast their vote. Okay, Delegate Tata, thank you very much. Your bill is tabled by a vote of 5-2. The clerk can close the roll.
Thank you so much.
Okay, let's go back to where we were. I think that we still have Askew, Thomas, and me, so that probably takes us to... Yes, so I think we'll do House Bill 529, which is Delegate Thornton. And so if... Is this one yours or? Yeah. Okay. If Mr. Reynolds could please give us the overview of the legislation.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. House Bill 529 from Delegate Thornton transforms the suicide prevention coordinator position within DVS into a broader suicide prevention program. And it expands the duties of the position and the program. And directs additional information sharing with the Registrar of Vital Records. As amended by HHS, this bill has no fiscal impact.
So thank you, David. To Delegate Thornton's credit, this was my bill last year and it has had a fiscal impact and it died. So I'm grateful for him picking up and being innovative with this. Is there any questions from the committee? Anyone in the audience who wishes to speak in favor or in opposition? Okay, the committee operates on motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to report as this has no fiscal impact.
Okay, it's moved and seconded to report. If the clerk would please open the roll. Dolores. Okay, there we go. So the legislation passes 7-0, and the clerk can close the roll. Next up, we have Delegate Josh Cole's House Bill 702, and Mr. Reynolds.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. This bill directs each local law enforcement agency to develop policies and procedures to develop a firearm give-back or buyback program by January 1st of 2028. It sets out several specific requirements for such programs. And it also requires local law enforcement agencies to submit an annual report to the Department of State Police, which includes the number of firearms received through their local programs. There is no state fiscal impact.
All right, thank you, Mr. Reynolds. Are there any questions from any members of the committee? All right, seeing none. Anyone here who wishes to speak in favor or opposition? All right, seeing none, the committee operates on motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move to report as this has no fiscal impact.
There's a motion and a second, so if the clerk would please open the rolls. And if everyone cast your vote. Okay, the legislation passes 5-2. The clerk can close the roll. All right. Okay, next up we have House Bill 1000. He should get some type of credit or play the lottery for that, getting that number, but also by Delegate Josh Cole, and this would be Mr. J.
Yes, the legislation creates the Rappahannock Area Transportation Authority, which is in Planning District 16. It would encompass counties with 150,000 or larger population, and the city, which would basically be, the original program would be Fredericksburg, Stafford, and the other localities would have the option of joining it if they so choose. Essentially, it sets up a fund to fund transportation initiatives within the area and authorizes taxation of a proposal to increase the regional sales tax by 0.5%, a additional 0.6% grantor's fee, a 1% and transit occupancy tax within the region, and a $15 million earmark from the statewide recordation tax distribution. The substitute actually eliminated the grantor's fee and the $15 million earmark and replaced the $15 earmark with the language saying that any recordation distributions to those localities would go into the transportation authority as opposed to the locality itself.
All right, thank you, Mr. J. Are there any questions from any members of the committee? Is there anyone here who wishes to speak in favor or opposition? I will say, I know that I talked to the patron about this, and we have been creating these different types of authorities in different locations around the Commonwealth over a period of time, and there are concerns about doing this at this particular time, and also the earmark of funds from the state recordation tax. I know that that has now been changed, but I really do commend him on trying to find a way to be able to fund transportation in the Rappahannock area, but the committee operates on motion.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I move to table this bill, generally table the bill due to what you just mentioned, the budgetary impact. It's quite considerable.
Okay, there's a motion to gently lay this bill on the table. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second. Okay. Thank you very much. The clerk will please open the roll, and everyone please cast your vote. Dolores. Okay. Thank you. The bill is gently laid on the table by a vote of 7-0, and I know that we are all committed to working with all of the different regions around the Commonwealth to be able to find ways to fund transportation, so we'll continue to work with Delegate Cole over the interim, but the bill is tabled 7-0. Next and last up is House Bill 1096, and I believe that is Mr. Reynolds.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. This bill directs Virginia State Police to establish a substantial risk order reporting system, which would track and report on the entry of substantial risk orders across the Commonwealth. There's required monthly reporting to the Governor and General Assembly. State police have indicated it would require $95,000 in fiscal year 2027 and $47,000 ongoing in order to develop and operate the system.
All right, thank you, Mr. Reynolds. This is a follow-on. This is a really good example of how we did the extreme risk protection order. I believe it was in 2020 or 2021, and now 4 or 5 years later, we're getting to the point of being able to collect and analyze this data to be able to see the real input of this. Are there any questions from anybody on the committee?
Make a motion?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move to report.
All right, there's a motion to report, there's a second, and if the clerk would please open the roll, and if you could please cast your vote. Okay, and Delegate Singh's House Bill 1096 reports on a vote of 5-2. The clerk can close the roll. Is there any other business? We have 3 bills left? Oh, I'm sorry, it's our bills. I was ready to be done.
Move to adjourn?
Yeah. Good one there. Okay, we're gonna start down there with Delegate Askew. Yeah.
There you go.
All right, Delegate Askew, would you like to present your bill, or would you like to have Mr. Reynolds?
I'll speak briefly to it.
Okay, thank you. And I believe that there is a substitute, so if somebody can move the substitute.
Move substitute.
Substitute's been moved, there's a second. All those in favor of the substitute, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. Okay, so the substitute is before us.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, with the substitute, it essentially becomes a Section 1 bill, and the substitute replaced the original grant program bill with the director for the Secretary of Public Safety and Homeland Security. It's giving a broad stakeholder work group on emergency management needs and funding in Virginia. This bill came about because it's a direct response to impending FEMA layoffs and funding reductions that make the federal emergency management support increasingly unreliable, positions Virginia to assume greater responsibility for its own preparedness and resilience. So the ultimate goal of this bill is to ensure communities are protected even when federal assistance is delayed, reduced, or ultimately unavailable.
All right. Thank you, Delegate Askew. And I think you really highlighted the fact that we've had a lot of legislation come up here to be able to address emergency management, so this is probably the right approach at the right time. Are there any questions from members of the committee?
Move to report.
Okay, there's a motion to report the substitute.
Substitute.
Is there a second? Second, okay, it's been properly moved and second. If the clerk could please open the roll, and if you could please cast your vote. All right, the bill reports with the substitute 7-0, and the clerk can close the roll. And Delegate Thomas, I think you are up next, and this is effectively my bill from last year that you have now figured out a way to do without a fiscal impact. So brilliant on your part. So go ahead, Delegate Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Essentially, the Department of Veterans Services created the Virginia Values Veterans Network, and what this, on the executive side, what this bill seeks to do is codify it as an ongoing requirement. Luckily, DVS has existing systems in place and sufficient resources to implement the bill, and there's no fiscal impact.
All right, thank you. Is there any questions? Okay, any comments? All right.
Move to report.
There's a motion to report, and there's a second. If the clerk could please open the roll, and if everyone could please cast your vote. Okay, it passes 7-0. The clerk can please close the roll, and then we have mine, which is the last one. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, House Bill 411. I'll let Mr. J do it.
This is a bill from the department that they requested that the chairman carry. What the bill does is allow VDOT to enter into an agreement with the Federal Highway Administration Authority to take some of the responsibilities that have previously been done by the federal government related to environmental reviews. This was allowed based on recent federal legislation that would allow the FWHA to do this with states. VDOT can do this and absorb it, and it could actually make the process work faster and more efficient.
All right, thank you, Mr. Jay. Any questions from the committee?
Mr. Chairman, this is a good bill.
Oh, well, thank you.
So improve the efficiency of VDOT and move things along.
And I appreciate that, and I know you're not just being funny because you actually said that during the Transportation Committee, so, all right. Did you make a motion?
I do. I will move to report.
Okay, there's a motion to report, and there's a second. Okay, if the clerk could please open the roll. All right, House Bill 411 reports on a vote of 7-0, and the clerk can close the roll. Now, I think we are done with the docket unless there is any other business to come before the subcommittee. Seeing none, the committee shall rise.